When the Lord gives me prophecies, I don't release them until I feel led by Holy Spirit. So I'm going to release a prophecy that the Lord gave me regarding 5 nations. He gave me this prophecy on May 16th of 2018. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just read it right from my journal as the Lord gave it to me. Okay, so the Lord said this. And this was regarding the nations. He said, first, I want to start with the United States of America. For the next 7 years, the USA will prosper. There will be calamities in your nation, but they will cement the bond of unity in people. Your country has been divided along party lines, but these calamities will cause the division to become unity. I have a plan for your nation. My plan is to prosper my people, so there is a distinction between mine and those of the world. Just as I made a distinction between my people in Goshen and those from Egypt, I will do the same in the next 7 years. He said, child, this is my grace to your nation. Then he said this. Now I want to move on to Israel. Israel will get into a war with Iran, but it will be short-lived. This will fulfill the prophecy I gave to you in 2009 before Netanyahu got elected. Child, the temple will be built in the next 7 years, as I have spoke to you before. Donald Trump will have a part in that. He said, you have seen the temple coin with Trump and Cyrus's face side by side. I have declared that Donald Trump is my Cyrus. He is bold like a lion and compassionate. Most people only see the brash side of Trump, but I know his heart. He has a heart of compassion. Then he said, let's move on to China. China's economy is about to fail. China has spent so much money on their military and forsaken their people. China is in an economic bubble that is about ready to break. President Xi will rush to Trump for aid, but it will not be forthcoming. Then he moved on to Russia. He said, Russia is ramping up for war. They are a sleeping giant ready to awaken to take more territory. Putin is a deceiver of deceivers. He is well aware of the cyber attacks that have come from Russia against the United States. He spews forth lies, lies, and more lies. Then he moved to North Korea. And remember, this was given to me May 16th, 2018. North Korea is buying time with these meetings with the United States of America. North Korea will broker a peace deal directly with South Korea. And we just actually saw that a few days ago in the news that North and Korea and South Korea both met, and they did indeed sign some sort of a peace agreement for the Korean Peninsula. Let's go back to the prophecy. He said North Korea wants to eliminate the presence of U.S. troops in South Korea. Kim Jong-un is sly and has changed his tactics, but be rest assured he will not give up his nuclear weapons that are hidden. He has agreed to dismantle one site, but he will never allow himself to be vulnerable without nuclear weapons. So now what I want to do is I want to move on to a more recent word from the Lord regarding this Hurricane Florence that has just devastated the Carolinas. The Lord gave me this word before Florence hit, and this was on September 13th of 2018. And first of all, he said, I want you to look up the name Florence. And so I looked up in my baby book what the name Florence means. And Florence means blooming and prosperous. And this is what the Lord said regarding that. He said, this nation, your nation, is all about prosperity. It is not that I am against a nation prospering, but what I am against is the way your nation has chosen to prosper. Drug companies prospering at the expense of people's lives. Pharmaceutical companies are producing drugs that kill people and are not held accountable. He said the trafficking of people and children as slave labor and sex slaves. This is abhorrent to me. When a nation harms and kills children, my anger arises and I call forth judgment. How long, O USA, are you as a nation going to continue with these wicked ways of prospering? Until you, O USA, repents, I will continue to increase the severity of the wind and the waves against you. He said, the wind and the waves obey me. Do not think that there is not a correlation between these storms and your sin. Indeed, there is. And then he told me to go to Isaiah chapter 26. Isaiah 26:9 says, for when your judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. Isaiah 26:20-21 says this, and this is a message to God's people. Come, my people, enter your chambers and shut the doors behind you. Hide yourself, as it were, for a little moment, until the indignation is past. For behold, the Lord comes out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth will also disclose her blood and will no more cover her slain. So I wanted to share those prophecies with you today, and I hope you have a blessed day.